A few days ago, I put out my predictions for what would happen at the 2026 Oscars, saying who or what would win in each category, but who actually took home the gold. Hello everybody, my name is Jesse and welcome to my channel. The 2026 Oscars were this last Sunday and there were a lot of great wins. Today I'm going to be comparing my predictions that I put out a couple days ago with what actually won and see how many I got right. I'm basically going to be going over all of my thoughts on the wins, any surprises, upsets, stuff like that. Let me know your thoughts on the Oscars down below and let's get started. I'm going to go through these in the same order I went through my predictions. So starting with actor in a leading role, I really thought this was going to go to Timothée Chalamet. I thought he fully deserved it, and it ended up going to Michael B. Jordan. Don't get me wrong, he deserves it just as much. His dual performance in Sinners was absolutely outstanding. His ability to make Smoke and Stack feel like completely different characters, the fact that he was able to pull off a dual performance like this and not make it feel gimmicky. It actually felt real and it added to the movie in a really great way. I thought his performance was fantastic. Michael B. Jordan completely deserved it. Timothy's time will come. I fully believe that. Every other acting category I pretty much nailed. Actor in a supporting role, non-surprisingly, went to Sean Penn. I thought he was fantastic in one battle after another. Actress in a leading role went to Jessie Buckley. After she had been sweeping pretty much every other award show, it was only a matter of time before she picked up the Oscar. I haven't seen Hamnet, but I do love Jessie Buckley as an actress, so I'm very happy that she got this. An actress in a supporting role went to Amy Madigan for Weapons, which I absolutely love. Her performance was incredible. In my predictions, I said she was able to perfectly strike the balance between terrifying and hilarious, and she was just, it was such a memorable performance, probably one of my favorite performances from last year, so I'm incredibly excited that she got this. And for the brand new category, casting, I had Sinners as my prediction, and it ended up giving one battle after another its first win of the night. For animated feature film, to no one's surprise, K-pop Demon Hunters picked it up. Animated short film, I predicted Butterfly just because I had heard the name a bunch and ended up going to The Girl Who Cried Pearls, which now really makes me want to check this film out. Documentary feature film, I said I was going to The Perfect Neighbor, and it ended up going to Nobody Against Putin. I haven't seen either of these films, so I can't speak for them. Documentary short film, I took a complete stab in the dark with All the Empty Rooms, and I somehow ended up being right. International feature film, again, one that I was completely expecting and went to Sentimental Value. I cannot wait to check this film out. For live action short film, it was a very interesting one because I said I was going to Butchered Stain, and it actually ended up being a tie for, I believe, the 7th time in Oscars history, the 3rd time in this category's history. It went to both The Singers and Two People Exchanging Saliva. Also, a very quick note here, I absolutely loved Kumail Nanjiani's joking opening monologue for this category and making fun of how feature films could be short films.
I think many full-length movies would work just as well, if not better, as short films. Instead of It's a Wonderful Life, how about It's a Wonderful Month? West Side Anecdote. The King's Tweet. Some of that jazz. One battle. That's it. You get one. Choose wisely, Paul.
If I can find it, I'll throw it on screen, but if not, you'll have to check it out yourself. It was hilarious. Or if you watched the Oscars, you know what I'm talking about. And for the grand prize, Best Picture, again, one that I was completely expecting, one battle after another. I would have given it to Sinners. That was my favorite film, but I can't fault the Academy for giving it to this movie. It was an extremely well-made film. Cinematography was my biggest surprise of the night, and a very pleasant surprise at that. I predicted it was going to be Sinners, but deep down I really thought it was going to one battle, and it did end up going to Sinners, making Autumn Durald Archipald the first woman to ever win Best Cinematography, and I am extremely happy at that. This film looked gorgeous, and I cannot wait to see what she does in the future. Costume design, I said it was going to Sinners, and it ended up going to Frankenstein, deservedly so. The Frankenstein picked up pretty much all of the creative/art categories, and I can't fault them. This film, once again, looked gorgeous and completely deserved. Best Director went to Paul Thomas Anderson, even though I would have given it to Ryan Coogler. Once again, I can't be mad at this decision. Paul Thomas Anderson is an insanely talented filmmaker. He has delivered consistently great films for 30 years now. It was his time. But if Ryan Coogler continues to deliver films at this quality, I do think that it will be his time sometime in the future to pick up his own golden trophy. Film editing got One Battle After another win. Makeup and hairstyling, just as I predicted, went to Frankenstein, and once again, deservedly so. It was confirmed by one of the makeup artists that Jacob Elordi sat in the makeup chair for a total of 400 hours during production, which is absolutely insane. Best Original Score, again, another one that I completely saw coming. It went to Ludwig Göransson for Sinners, and it is time that we start discussing Ludwig Göransson in the conversation of GOAT music composers. He truly is becoming one of the greatest. Maybe he already is, but the fact that he's this young and he's already at 3 Oscars just shows to the quality of the music he creates. And he's doing the Odyssey again this year, so even if he doesn't win, which he probably will, it's possible we see his name in this category again next year. Best Original Song, to no one's surprise, went to K-Pop Demon Hunters for Golden. Production design is one that I'm going to be kicking myself for quite a while, because when I first made my predictions, I wrote down Frankenstein. Then in my video, I changed it to Sinners. For production design, I'm actually making kind of a risky move and changing my original answer. When I was first making my predictions for this video, I originally wrote down Frankenstein for this award, but the more I think about it, I'm changing my answer to Sinners, and it ultimately ended up going to Frankenstein. I should have stuck with my gut. I knew that I should have, but what's done is done. But even then, this film absolutely deserved it. The production design, the sets, everything looked incredible. Best Sound, again, unsurprisingly, went to F1. That was pretty much the only right choice in this category. Best Visual Effects, once again, went to pretty much the only right choice, Avatar: Fire and Ash. And if it was going to pick up anything, we knew it was going to be this. And finally, the writing categories, Paul Thomas Anderson picked up his first Oscar of the night for One Battle After Another. And I can't blame it. It was a great script. I thought it was well written. It was very funny. It was his first one of the night, and I just love that you could see how much it meant to him. He has been nominated so many times in the past. Every single one of his films has been nominated for something. He himself has been nominated for screenplay and director multiple times. And so the fact that he was finally able to pick up his Oscar, and once again, you see how much it meant to him, was great. And one of my favorite wins of the night, writing original screenplay, went to Ryan Coogler for Sinners. This was, like I said, my favorite film of the year. It might be one of my favorite screenplays to ever win this award. But one of the main reasons that I call it one of my favorite wins of the night is because you can just see how much everybody loves Ryan Coogler and how much they were rooting for him, how much they wanted him to win this. This man got a standing ovation for winning Best Original Screenplay. Not Best Director, not Best Picture, but for screenplay. And if that doesn't show how much everybody loves Ryan Coogler, I don't know what does. If Ryan Coogler was going to pick up anything, I am so happy that it was this. As soon as I saw this movie for the first time, I knew that he had written one of the most beautiful and original screenplays that I have ever seen, and I think it was pretty much guaranteed that he was going to win this as soon as this movie came out. So adding up all of my correct predictions, I got 17 out of the 24 categories correct. And a few final thoughts on the Oscars themselves. The big winners, non-surprisingly, were One Battle After Another, which picked up 6 wins, and Sinners, that picked up 4. And this was a phenomenal year for not only just movies, but horror specifically. Sinners, Frankenstein, and Weapons all walked away with big wins, and that is fantastic. I'm so happy that horror got the love that it deserved this year. So there you have it. Those are my predictions versus the actual winners at the Oscars and just my overall thoughts on the show themselves. What did you think of this year's Oscars? Let me know down in the comments below. If you made any predictions, how many did you get right? And I have a couple other videos planned coming very soon. So stay tuned for those. And until then, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching movies.